Having heard longtime fans express their love for Stardew Valley since it launched, and with being asked if I would play it too by several viewers now over the years, I finally decided why not stop letting it collect dust in my Steam library. Though, before I could even get into the game, I had a dilemma. Should I watch one of the many beginner guides? You see, I'm notoriously a perfectionist when it comes to video games, so much so that I often ruin the experience for myself. And when I inevitably fall short of perfection, those saves become abandoned. Not to mention, in this day and age of constant clickbait and lack of general social awareness, the fact that I know next to nothing about a decade-old game is insane. But what I do know is that Concerned Ape wanted players to explore Stardew Valley and figure it out for themselves, so why not embrace his challenge to the player? Also, somehow, even in blind playthroughs, creators always seem to have a nice checklist of what they're planning to accomplish at the start of these, like literally how. So I'm just going to let all of you down right off the bat and say that I'm going to embrace being a nincompoop, launch the game, and imperfectly get through spring for the first time. With character creation being first up, I was actually surprised at how many options were available when it came to customization. The many skin tones, plenty of cute hairstyles, at least 100 shirts, and even color sliders. It was truly the magnificent mustache that sealed my character design. Even more exciting was the hint that I might get a pet at some point, and while this was only limited to cats and dogs, I am quite the cat lover myself, so I went with my tried and true black cat. Left with the task of naming everything, I decided to not really think about it too much while brushing off the uncertainty of my favorite thing becoming important later. Though maybe I should have thought about it a little bit more because the first mistake already happened, and I definitely missed the option to choose what I can only guess is a farm type. I did say I was going to embrace the mistakes, but that doesn't really make it any easier. Oh well, hindsight is 20/20, and so into the game I went, blissfully unaware of anything. Greeted by my grandfather, who looked like he was potentially on his deathbed, and I'm honestly still not entirely sure on that one. Anyways, he gave me a letter and told me to hold on to it for when the world sucked the joy out of my life. With many years passing since that night, I found myself in a soulless corporate waste pit, surrounded by all types of nameless faces, and about to spiral in my cubicle. Though, who wouldn't when you and everyone else around you are more or less a cog in the machine? With that, it was time to open the letter and see what Grandpa had to remedy the problem, basically saying that he had been in a similar place once too, and that he found peace reconnecting with nature and the people around him, so he left us his farm in hopes we might be able to do the same. And just like that, without hesitation, I set out to Stardew Valley in search of a new adventure where I met Robin, who was kind enough to lead me to my farm, and boy was it a bit of a mess. Almost like we go together, I suppose. While she was showing me my new home, an old man came walking out the front door. He was Grandpa's old friend, Mary Lewis, with the two welcoming me to town, taking a jab at my rustic home, and playfully at one another for maybe not having the purest of intentions in doing so, and a tip to sell my extra belongings in a nearby box. I was left alone to settle into my new home. With the game finally giving me the freedom to move around on my own, my attention was drawn to the nearby box, which turned out to be parsnip seeds from Lewis, which was immediately followed by me struggling to figure out the simplest of controls, like opening the door. But once conquered, I was able to continue checking out my humble abode, and while learning the majority of it was decorative, I came across the TV with tomorrow's forecast, the fortune teller, and a beginner's tip to sell excess materials. I took my luck and new knowledge out the door. And of course, I couldn't get too far without checking out my tools and how to use them, with it fortunately being relatively intuitive up to this point, but that might just be from my limited time in Fields of Mystria. No direction given to the player was definitely not an exaggeration. After prepping the area and receiving some fiber and mixed seeds for doing so, I planted my parsnips without too much struggle, though I still failed to figure out how to fill up my watering can, despite grasping the concept that I was supposed to stand near water, and stubbornly spent a bit of time trying to jump over stuff instead of clearing it out. With that, I felt like the world's biggest idiot and made my way into town to start working on a simpler task, exploring. As soon as I left the farm, a daffodil immediately caught my attention, and I tried to interact with things around in the area before noticing my second find, a dandelion. This is also where I discovered my journal full of tasks that I'm sure I will have to rediscover at some point, as I'm just smooth-brained like that. With a little more time spent walking around, the mining cart and the bus didn't seem to be available to me just yet, and I made my way into town checking out the plaza, and though it was again a struggle to get the controls sorted, I did manage to finally open the bulletin board, learning about the birthdays and events for the season. Though I must admit I didn't notice these stars at the time of recording. Not looking up things is really a struggle for a perfectionist like myself, but with that, I made my way into my first building where I found a villager, though not without continuing to struggle with controls. Fortunately, no one seems to too bothered by a scythe being swung in their face, and of course, the impregnable doors. Fear not though, because I did eventually conquer them and made my way to Harvey, and I must say he has exquisite facial hair. We're truly twins in that regard, don't you think? And while continuing to explore, I learned that there's an invisible wall in the form of requiring proper friendships with the villagers to enter their personal space. So my dejected nosy self had to take a hint and kick rocks, leading me to my next group of villagers, starting with Alex. And while I don't have much to say about the town's meathead, I do have plenty to say about my girl Evelyn. She's literally the cutest thing and honestly reminds me so much of my own grandma. I simply can't help but be in love with her. I can't really say the same for George here as well, as he's a total sourpuss, but he did give me the opportunity to test out if I could watch his TV for more information, and the answer is no. With the rooms not being available to me and George already making it clear to get lost, I'll be sure not to let the door hit me on my way out, where I finally noticed the really obvious trailer, and wow, Pam is the perfect person for it. And while exploring after, I did find another daffodil, which quickly led me to worries about inventory management, but like a dog spotting a squirrel, I didn't have much time to worry about things, though maybe Sam should be a little worried. Loved his anime hair though. After nearly decapitating another neighbor, I found the root of all evil in the form of Jojamart, where I met Morris, the corporate lackey. I doubt I'll be buddying up with him, but I do have to at least say hi to him for my task, and with Shane being too busy to chat and nothing to buy, I made my way out to find this wooded area that I was trying to figure out how to get to, and no, I did not realize until now that the mining cart is probably how I get there. No lumps or ridges in this noggin. I did make my way into the blacksmith's, but honestly, Clint didn't seem interested in my existence, so I quickly saw myself out. Though, now I'm wondering if I can use his smithing station. Also, I saw this butterfly. Oh my god, it's so cute! Wait, no, how do I get it? Oh, I can't get it. I probably need a net. No, where do I get a net? Aw, man. But just like that, I was quickly distracted by the concept of shop hours, struggling to open doors, and you may have guessed it, talking to Gunther. Once I got myself together though, I learned he's actually the new curator, with the previous curator having made off with the entire collection. I can't possibly guess who will have to find all of the artifacts again. A side note, I am surprised with how many things I walk past that I can clearly interact with, but didn't, and then brilliantly attempt to shake down shrubs. Oh well, on to Abigail, who I genuinely thought was a child, but didn't really give that vibe in her portrait. I'm honestly confused on what's going on there, but I'm sure I'll put two and two together someday. At least the next villager, Maru, was less confusing and actually pleasant. People here are surprisingly short, despite Lewis's claims that a new person in town was exciting. Oh yeah, and then I found this cemetery and assumed one of them was my grandpa, and well, snas up han today du small vush lasanalien hat light tool. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I don't know what all of that was about, but it seems Grandpa's not here. Womp womp and on to meeting Emily, who left me a bit confused. I did just assume the town was called Stardew Valley for some reason, despite being pretty sure I was told it was Pelican Town by other villagers previously. I was just on a roll with things going right over my head, but not with Jody. What do you mean I'm not what you expected? I'll tell you what, I expected y'all to be a lot kinder. Be more like little Vincent here. Whatever though, because I finally found the general store with Leah and Pierre inside, and while he did say he would buy my excess produce, all I managed to figure out was that I'm too poor to afford bigger bags, and again walked off feeling a bit defeated by a simple mechanic. Though Caroline here helped me piece together that Abigail is probably a teen, hence why she's so short and not childlike in her portrait. Also, I fear they might be in a cult. Hopefully not the Joja cult at least, but let's pretend I can mind my own business and make our way to the saloon owned by Gus, and where his oh so lovely barfly Shane was. I swear no one here has ever heard of a hello. I thought people from small towns were supposed to be nice, and oh my god, I sucked so bad at this arcade game. So if there's anything to be earned from it, I doubt I'll ever know. I wasn't really sure what to do next, so I doubled back to the general store, where I still couldn't figure out how to sell anything, and ended up going back to my farm in frustration, thinking at least I was doing something productive if I was clearing it out, which led me to finding another path to explore, though it took me a minute to get to it, and once I did start to explore, my inventory was full. A side note, it also took me a hot minute to actually realize it, and again to remember that I can't jump, no matter how much I press my spacebar. I definitely took out some frustration on the farm before I remembered the box Lewis told me I could sell my stuff in, which didn't really help because I hadn't realized I still couldn't sell anything because I opened my inventory and not the box itself. itself, but it led to the discovery of my map and the fishing store that I had missed out on for the day. I also did remember to plant the mixed seeds at least, but with day one really not being my day, I decided it was time to hit the hay. With tomorrow's rainy forecast and today's good fortune, I headed out the door to tend to my garden, where I noticed I had some mail from Pierre, and honestly after yesterday, it felt like he was just mocking me with his affordable bag upgrade. Hate to break it to you, Pierre, but I'm still as broke as I started. At least the local fisherman Willie also got in touch and apparently just returned from his fishing trip today, so not noticing the fishing shop until late last night wasn't a bad thing anymore. Even more great news, I managed to figure out the selling box by my house and empty my inventory. With limited space and having failed to figure out another solution, I sold what I could. With every item going in, I was really missing the ability to just toss things on the ground and pick it up later like in Fields of Mystria. I just know I'm going to regret something later. At least I managed to fill my watering can today before heading to the docks. Willie is also apparently a generous soul and at this point the kindest person in town, next to Lewis, because he gifted me his old fishing rod, finally allowing me to work towards earning some real money. And boy, did I waste no time giving it a go, only to learn just how hard fishing is in this game. I did manage to catch that first fish, and I just know this anchovy isn't going to bring in the bacon like I need. So back in I went, and I honestly have never been more humbled by a cozy game in my life because what the heck is this bouncing bar? Oh my god. So I decided to take Willie's advice to check out a shop. Luckily, this is where I learned how to finally buy things, though uncertainty reared its ugly head, and I walked out without anything in determination to save my coin and simply get good. And well, I think my next catch was just incredibly lucky since it didn't move out of the green bar once, leading me to my second fish, a herring, and an overflowing inventory. I'm not entirely sure why I decided this piece of wood was more important than the soda, but oh well. Back into Willie's shop to clear my bags, but not without struggling to open the door again. This is also where I learned he meant it when he said he would only buy my fish, and made my way towards town. On the way, I noticed something sticking out of the ground, and to my surprise, it was my first artifact. Too bad I couldn't find the museum on the map. Maybe I need some glasses or something, so I thought I might as well say hi to some people while I'm here before heading into the general store to sell what I could. And since I still couldn't find the museum after that, I thought, might as well wander around, where I stumbled onto what I thought was the correct building just for it to be locked. Oh, past me, you adorable doofus. Thank goodness for this patch of grass, cause boy did I have some frustration building up. Thinking things were good now, I met Haley, and apparently she's just all that and a bag of chips, I suppose. But hey, the fact that I could sit in this swing makes it all worth it. It held me together long enough to find the museum at least, where Gunther spent way too long lamenting the empty displays. I have a piece actually for you. You can have my piece. But it is yours. No. You can have it. I promise. Would you consider donating any new artifacts? Yes, I'm trying. You can have it. I understand the concept. Take it. Less words, please. Think about it, will you? I already decided before I came in here you could have it. But I realized maybe I should have paid more attention to him than I did because I spent quite a bit of time being unsure how to turn it in. Almost like some of the dialogue mattered or something. Whoops. Whatever, I was 250 gold richer now, and I had met another villager as well. So I had a bit of extra pep in my step while becoming Pelican Town's #1 trash bandit. Speaking of trash, I also accidentally learned how to give a gift to villagers. My bad, Bam. But now I know what to do with these daffodils the game generously gave me. With tomorrow being a rainy day, I decided I should spend some time looking for more villagers as I was still missing some. Where I guess I locked in on these worms a little too much because I missed the new person nearby. At least I got some carrots to plant though, and I found the carpenter shop where I thought I was finally going to figure out how to make a chest, only to be absolutely crushed by Robin closing up for the day to do aerobics. This game hates me, I swear. I also found a sign for a railroad, but it seems there's another invisible wall blocking my way for now. Oh well, look at this guy Linus. He didn't have much to say, but I like his face and his fire pit, though I now have worries my second favorite villager so far is homeless. And oh my god, it is so hard to watch me walk past yet another item. Like, where were my eyes? On vacation? Whatever, I found some more carrots and didn't miss this horseradish on the way back to my farm where I spotted a cave. I thought it was going to be the mines and was a bit disappointed to see this empty room. Too bad I can't let Linus have it or something. I feel like I have a pretty big farm that I could share, but it's way too early to worry about something like that anyways. And after making some room in my inventory, I wanted to set out to catch some new fish, making my way to the river in town, where I caught a smallmouth bass and then missed the next catch because I got excited seeing a treasure chest for the first time. I also got another Doja Cola, and after improving my technique, I caught a bream and another smallmouth bass. They both had a silver star, which got me thinking that I might need to give it to the museum, and again, it was so hard not to look up things. But with that, I tucked myself into bed for the night, bringing day 2 to an end, and I even made some gold this time. With day 3 being both rainy and a lucky day, I got to skip out on tending my farm for the day and made a beeline to the museum, only to be reminded that business is closed here, and I was going to have to pass the time. To make matters worse, my pockets were full as well, so I couldn't even fish. Luckily, all I found was more daffodils before making my way back to the museum, where Gunther wasn't interested in my fancy fish, leading me to believe they were just worth more money and super excited to sell them, and the general store isn't open on Wednesdays. What the heck, game? So, with my pockets still full and something to dig up, I had to drink my cola to make room. Turned out it was a lost book, so really I drank it for nothing. Better safe than sorry, I guess. At least Willie was hard at work, and I got to sell my fish finally, and again passed up on the training rod, only to be humbled by the next 2 fish I tried to catch. One training rod, please. And with my new rod, I was consistently catching stuff like sea jelly, seaweed, sardines, and herring. Not much, but better than nothing. I even tried fishing in different spots to see if there might be slightly different fish available, similar to the pier in Animal Crossing, only to lose track of the time and watch Willie close up shop for the day. It seems me and my record-breaking anchovy would just have to go somewhere else. I also realized that I got to level 1 in foraging and level 2 in fishing before heading to the museum to double check that Gunther didn't want my stuff, which again, I got wrecked by not paying attention to the time. Seems I'm the only one with a proper work ethic here. With not having anywhere else to put my things, I sold what I had and tried fishing for a bit on my farm, only to catch a ton of junk, and I mean a ton of junk. So I decided to wander instead and found Sebastian on my stroll. He's a looker for sure. With a late night stop in the saloon to chat with people, I found myself out of time for the day and made my way to bed, where I learned I get perks for leveling up, and that's honestly super cool. With some good fortune for the day, I tended to my garden and booked it to the beach. Listen, I really love a good beach in a game, and I will definitely spend a ton of time here. Being brave for the day, I switched back to the bamboo rod and really had to fight for my first flounder and another record-breaking anchovy, getting me that much closer to having a bigger bag. I have to say, I'm glad time stops while fishing because I really am sitting here for so freaking long waiting for bites sometimes. I'm sure there's a way to fix that, but I still haven't figured it out yet. This game really does just let you wander blind, and while that sucked at first, day 4 is where the tide started to turn and I started to enjoy the journey and feel a sense of pride at the progress I was making. Is it slow? Oh yeah, but I did it all by myself. Speaking of figuring things out, this is where I also learned that if I slow down the green bar before it hits the bottom, it won't bounce obnoxiously. That bounce has seriously cost me so many fish. After hitting up a bubbly spot to catch a ton of fish quickly, I finally had enough gold to upgrade my bags and even found Elliot in the store. Only a few more villagers to go. Willie also put up a request to catch herring, which was hilarious after I decided I was going to do something besides fishing. Oh well, it did lead me not only to catching halibut for the first time, but also I managed to get 2 chests this time. One that had a chicken statue and the other 3 gold ore. And I'm sure someone is relieved to hear that I will not be selling the ore. So despite not getting to do what I want, I was super thankful for Willie's request. Oh, and I'm realizing while writing the script the requests are timed, super spooky. With my time freed up, I wanted to get back to my farm to plant more carrots and discovered a new building. Of course it was locked, but I knew to come back tomorrow and check it out. Since I had also never been this way before, I had to spend a lot of time clearing out my farm just to get back to my house, where I quickly tucked myself in for the night, and just like that, I learned how to catch fish faster, but I still haven't a clue how to actually craft anything. Despite getting a bad fortune for the day, I was so excited when I walked in the door to see Marnie with a cat. I had totally forgotten about picking out a cat at the beginning of a game, and if you're new here, I have a fluffy void of my own in real life, so I always name them after him. I also had some mail from JojaMart. It seems they caused some disaster previously, and it was now fixed, but I couldn't tell you where Mountain Lake is, so whatever, and on to my first harvest. I got really lucky with finding a ton of these carrots, by the way, and I was so stoked to sell them. I also learned there are birds who will want to eat my crop co-op, so not knowing how to craft anything is starting to get spookier, and the temptation to Google things was rising. But heck, I've already made so mistakes, I can't be perfect now, so might as well keep going. Side note, whoever's messing with my man Linus is going to get a mega smackdown when I find them. I also finally realized the rock wall is what was preventing me from finding the most northern building on the map. Like, duh. Oh, and Lewis finally showed me what the locked building was. Turns out it's the community center, though it's in ruins and haunted by adorable apples that apparently only I could see. Great. Now I'm not just the village idiot, but crazy as well. Not a great way to start building my reputation. I did have a look around, by the way, and all I found was a shiny tablet that reminded me of the weird writing on the grave I found a couple of days ago. I'm guessing they're connected, but who cares at this point? I had to get to selling my produce, and I'm not gonna lie, it didn't bring in the bacon like I'd hoped. I'll have to wait for the next bag upgrade, and apparently I can ruin my reputation even more because Lewis was not too happy to find me digging in his trash. Oops. And speaking of oopsies, I sold this purple starfish that I meant to hold on to. The community center had some stars over the fireplace, and that got me thinking that maybe selling everything should stop. But I have the attention span of a biscuit, and now I'm sad. At least I remembered to make my way back to that building I found last night, where I officially met Marnie and then was brutally humbled by her prices. Thanks, girl. I'll be sure to be back in the year 3000 at this rate. I just wanted a cute cow. After giving Gunther my second artifact, I set out to find the last villager I needed, who I finally found in the carpenter shop, and also checked out some of the items available, more specifically the silo, which sounds like it might be a good idea to build before the livestock buildings. I just feel like with my forgetful nature, it might help me not starve my poor chickens and cows someday. Also, sorry Robin, but I needed the gold from the task I found in my journal, so enjoy your fiber. I mean, colon cancer's on the rise, so she really should be more grateful. But I sure was busy deforesting my farm, which brings me back to the intro where I said I knew next to nothing. Technically, I knew two things. One, where leveling up a skill makes it so that you can pass out without being punished with less energy the next day, and that you can skip the animation for stuff like chopping down wood. I forgot how to do the skip though, so I guess I technically don't know how to do two things. So, with no energy left and no food to fix it, I ran around looking for things to forage and came home with basically bupkis and leveled up in farming, where I was reminded that I still don't know how to craft yet. With new stock at Willie's and an invite from a wizard, I set out for the day where I almost missed the worms up top. I'm glad I caught them because I found another lost book for the library and a book that increased my combat experience. Lewis also let me know that if I start completing requests for villagers, they might give me a ticket to claim a reward, so I'll have to remember to check the bulletin board more often, and just when I felt like I was getting the hang of things, store hours humbled me once again. And if any of you are asking, Luma, what about your date with the wizard? I forgot about it, but I did find another lost book, so that's cool. I also went back to the carpenter shop to figure out what I needed for the buildings, and it's more than I'll have anytime soon, but I found a crafting station and I wasn't actually too far off from being able to buy it. So naturally, I had to book it to the beach and catch some fish, only for Willie to not be at his shop. Willie, I'm supposed to be making money here! What's the point of shop hours again? Whatever. I still had a date with a wizard, and I freaking love wizards, and oh my god, he's so cute. I know marriage is in this game, so if I can't marry him, this game is literally unplayable. Behold. I'm beholding. Whoa! It's the little apple! He's so cute! Stay here. I'm gonna see for myself. I'll return shortly. I could just come with you, no? Oh, I guess I can't come with you. Never mind. That makes sense now. After zipping away to the community center, he talked some nonsense about those ghost apples being forest spirits, and he made me a drink with some questionable whatever the heck. So not only was my character feeling queasy, but so was I after watching the trees dance for a while on screen. I pulled through though, and since I haven't been over here before, I decided to wander around and see what there was. I kind of got a little lost here and there, but the world isn't that big, fortunately. Oh yeah, and I ran into Marnie. Oh my god, I haven't talked to my cat. It never crossed my mind I could communicate with him. I'm so sorry, baby. And he wasn't home, so now I feel like the world's worst pet owner on the planet. Speaking of the planet, I deforested a lot of my farm again, leaving me with no energy to do anything else, and Salem was also being the cutest in my bed, just like in real life. Oh yeah, last night when I was clearing the farm, I also found a geode, so Clint was waiting for me outside my house like a creep to tell me I should stop by his shop and that I'll need a furnace at some point to get the most out of it. However, it's literally day 7 and I still can't fucking craft. So I decided to check out Robin's since she had previously had a workbench for sale, where I learned I can plant trees just about anywhere. Pretty neat, even if I did stupidly put them down in the middle of the path, and I ran into my baby Linus just to learn someone was throwing rocks at his tent last night, so I gave him a horseradish to lift his spirits. And I have fantastic news. While I was trying to go through Robin's menus and fighting with the controls, I have finally learned something. Oh wait, do I just craft it like that? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my. I hate this game. So I set out with empty pockets and a bruised ego to the community center, where salt was added to the wound because the community center was going to require most of the resources I had been selling for the past week. I also learned that the books I'd been finding for the museum can actually be read for some helpful hints, though I still doubt I'll be reading all of that. I've embraced being a trial and error girly at this point, and I genuinely am loving finding new things as I wander around. Like this cool smuggler who I think I can buy goods from when they're out of season, which might come in handy later for the community center if I'm feeling desperate. As for their other goods, I was simply too poor to buy them. I also got my first achievement in the game, a fisherman, for catching 10 unique fish. And the chest I got was some bait, but while it would be nice to hook fish faster, I couldn't figure it out unfortunately, and the water seemed to be mostly trash and food items. Maybe this was the polluted mountain lake that Jojo Mert said they weren't legally responsible for, so I decided to just clear out my farm some more before heading to bed. While there's really nothing new to say about morning chores at this point, I can say that Robin seems to be feeling a little guilty about her rude comment on my humble abode because she offered to upgrade my house, though I of course need to supply everything and there's no discount in sight. Are you apologizing or not, Robin? Whatever. Might as well drop off some things at the community center and make my way over to see her, only to get distracted by an area I hadn't seen before, where I found a new fishing spot, my favorite villager, and the Adventurers Guild, before heading into the cave where I finally found the mines and Marlin, who is also the guild leader, I think. And he gifted me a whole freaking sword. And while my pockets were mostly full, I was also almost out of energy, so why not explore what little I could while I was there? Especially since Robin was going to likely ask for a bajillion resources I didn't have anyways. With the first floors being relatively uneventful, it was the third floor that started to give me a run for my money. With more enemies at once and less space to retreat, I managed to push through to the fourth floor, where there was actually quite a bit of copper ore, and this green slime thing that was actually wrecking me despite it being the only enemy on this floor. So, with no energy or desire to push forward, I made my way up, where I learned how to block, and was interrupted as I made my way into town, where George mistook my man Linus for a raccoon digging in his trash, and oh my god, he literally broke my heart. I'll definitely have to make more of an effort to bring food to him, especially when I get that kitchen upgrade. And I offered him some words of comfort, cause he can really do no wrong in my eyes, and George can kick rocks if he's got a problem moving forward. Although, maybe he can't. Also, Gus is now moving up on my list, because after catching Linus digging in his trash can, he offered him hot food instead of being mean to him. And Marlin also gave us a mini quest to slay 10 slimes to join his guild, which sounds tempting, sure, but also like, why waste a rainy day? So I made my way over to Clint just to get wrecked by shop hours. I doubt it's a concept I'll ever grasp, honestly. So I passed the time with some fishing, only to not be able to upgrade my tools, and I spent some time trying to see if he had a furnace I could use, since crafting a furnace wasn't something I could do just yet. So I walked off a little defeated, but I at least had other plans, like using the weather to plant new produce for my garden, since I really did want to do my best on the community center for spring, though I was pretty sure I boned myself with the early days of selling everything. But since I couldn't make a trellis for the green beans, I wasn't all that worried about what I did or didn't accomplish for the season, and with my garden planted, I ran off to my favorite spot in all of Pelican Town, right outside Willie's shop, to do my fishing. But after catching a few fish, I mistook the bamboo pole for the training rod and walked all the way back to my farm to fix my mistake. But it was a good thing, I suppose, since I had forgotten about Pam's request for a carp, and it was the last day to get her one. Unfortunately, I also had zero idea if the river in town was actually the correct spot. At least I caught a few new fish and some useful food items for when I'm ready to return to the mines. And with the next day also being a rainy day, I still planned to fish with the goal of checking out new spots in town to see if there were other fish I hadn't caught yet. But not without filling back in my garden with some parsnips. It just feels wrong to have empty spaces. Closed on Wednesdays? You motherfucker! And after running around for a bit trying to fix my earlier tree snafu and now an energy problem, I was able to get to the beach where there was a very convenient bubbly spot where I was blessed with stupid sardines. Come here, you fuck-ass fish. Oh my god, come here. I almost had you like so many times. Come here. You better be a herring. A fucking sardine. You know, for a cozy game, I'm not feeling very cozy. I'm actually feeling quite stressed. Oh my god, it's the emo edgelord. The ocean is best enjoyed alone, don't you think? Oh, I'll leave then. My bad. Don't mind me. Shit. So I made my way to the other side of the docks and learned I could eat the fish for health and energy. Got to level 5 in the fishing skill and caught everything that Demetrius wanted. Get out of my way, Penny. Penny, move! Yeah, I knew you'd be over here, nerd. Always working. And I found Linus, so of course I had to gift him a fish and check out a new spot, where I immediately found a carp and then got crushed because I realized I couldn't date the wizard. I also decided to panic while looking for Elliot, like he wanted the carp for some reason when he was asking for a cauliflower. I was tired, okay? But I found the link I needed to complete the spring bundle, opening up new areas in the community center to work on, and after filling out what I could, I continued my idiotic search for Elliot to give him a carp he didn't want. You know what, I'm going fishing, fuck Elliot. And I decided to test passing out since I had leveled up my skill for the day, and it worked. My energy was full the next morning. Let's also take a moment to appreciate me putting everything in storage instead of selling it like a moron. And while I did get billed for passing out, Robin also gave me a quest to find her axe that she had last had south of Marnie's ranch. So I set out to do that instead because the promise of gold was worth it for my broke butt. Of course though, nothing ever quite goes to plan. Oh, I didn't grab my axe, I grabbed my pickaxe. So almost like deja vu or something, I set out from my farm in search of Robin's axe and gathered resources along the way when I spotted something. And while it's not what I was looking for, it got me that much more motivated because why the fuck does the hat cost that much? And after a while, I eventually found her axe and was now going to need to find her, but fat chance. There was at least a ton of spring onions to collect and that I had no idea about, so clearly I missed anything south of the Wizard's Tower before today. I also decided to swing back up to my farm before looking for Robin because I had caught a lot of new fish and harvested more crops in hopes of the community center needing them. I love watching past me not know that there's an easier way yet, you adorable little buffoon. At least I was right, and there was actually a lot more items that I needed to donate, and then I forgot Robin's axe, so I doubled back to the farm first. And finally got back on track with searching for her so that maybe I would still have time to fish today. But I got distracted almost immediately by Marnie's request for a carp, ending back up at the farm and digging through boxes, and since Marnie isn't a slacker like Robin, I had more hope that I would find her at her shop. When I was interrupted by Vincent and Jazz trying to get into the nasty sewer and getting a hint that Gunther is likely how I go about unlocking the door, where there was a noise coming from inside the sewer that startled the children, and for some reason that was my problem. Can't wait to figure out what that is someday. Not. And I was right, by the way. Marnie is a hardworking woman, and I was able to knock out her request almost immediately. I love a predictable character. And while I did set out to find Robin, there was a sardine frenzy at the beach. Oh no, I can turn it in whenever. Okay, bye Robin. And I finally got my damn fishing in. I also didn't see any bubbly spots, so I just started fishing, and I basically caught everything except sardines, which I don't want to complain or anything, since it's not a cool fish, but I hope I figure it out the next time the frenzy is something worthwhile. And the next morning, there was actually quite a bit of news around a bookseller being in town and the egg festival taking place tomorrow. I also got this little message saying I had some new ideas to sleep on, so I'm wondering if that's the game's subtle way of telling me I've leveled up in a skill. I'll definitely have to keep an eye out for that in the future, because I definitely didn't notice that again for the rest of spring. Anyways, armed with the idea of what tomorrow would be and my abundance of crappy fish, I made my way into the mines, where again the slimes were kicking my ass, and there's apparently some super wimpy flies, and that at least gave me some bug meat, though I can't make the steaks yet. And while I did improve at combat a little in game, my cat was also aggressively demanding his dinner, so it didn't take long for me to go back to struggling. At least my biggest struggle was just having enough energy to get through all the floors, so I had to switch to mostly juking the enemies to get any valuable resources and get down to the next floor, which was of course infested with a bajillion slimes and an evil carrot. I'm gonna die in here. Oh, I died. I was at least saved by Maru, but painfully learned that I lose items when dying like that. And on the way home, I also learned that becoming exhausted makes me move around like a snail. It was a day of rough lessons for me. And while our time in the mines was pretty productive, I thought I was just shy of what I needed in order to make a furnace, and Robin again had an offer of building something for me that wasn't really worth it at this point in the game. And then I realized that I actually did have enough copper ore to make a furnace. Oh, I didn't want to put that there. Requires 1 coal. Do I have coal? Oh, I do have some coal. Nice. When I made my way into town to find Gunther to talk about that key, only to be reminded that the egg festival was happening, and I was incredibly bummed to see that again. I was really too poor to afford anything aside from some strawberry seeds, but it's at least super cute to see all of the villagers gathered in town like this. Alright, I really doubt I'm gonna win this egg hunt, but I'm gonna give it my best go. I have no faith in me. Not even a lick of faith in myself. You're gonna need all your energy if you hope to find the most eggs. I watered my garden. Was that a mistake? How do I get eggs? Oh, okay, they're on the ground. Fuck off, children. These are my eggs. Oh my god, this kid is hauling ass. Stop it. Dang, they're just walking past the eggs? Okay, cool. Move, you fuck-ass child. Oh, I can't get this? I don't have time to worry about that egg. Oh, I don't think I got the most eggs. I had a really bad path. And now the winner of this year's egg hunt, Abigail. Fuck you, Abigail. Oh, the day is over? And I guess I was super scatterbrained the next morning, because I may end up in the mines again. Actually, you know what? I'll save it for a rainy day. I'm going to the mines. I changed my mind. My kitty! Oh, I don't have my sword. And while I was still a hot mess, I did manage to finally set out, where I found my man Linus, and even better, there was a leek nearby that I could give him. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to stop at the Adventurers Guild. See, I'm working on my quest. I'm being productive. Just to get wrecked by the shop hours again. You think that halfway through the season, I would have that simple concept down, but nope, I'm still an idiot. Oh my gosh, what was that? I tried pressing 1 to hit it. Oh my god, what the heck? Oh, we're not off to a good start. We're off to a terrible fucking start. Alright, calm down. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm simply the worst or if my sword is, because my damage seems to suck unless I get a crit. I'm surrounded! All I can do is panic swing. And on the 9th floor, I was terrified at the evil carrot being in the dirt spot again, so I had to make sure that I cleared all of the enemies on the level before I was even willing to step there. Oh, there's nothing here. Oh, there's a chest? Leather boots. I need more copper though, so I'm just gonna go back up to the first floors. Although I guess I could go do the other things. Actually, you know what? I will go do other things. No, I won't. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm indecisive. And I'm glad I stuck it out because there was a ton of copper on the 3rd floor, and just for the next floor to disrespect my existence by tossing 2 of the green guys at me. Oh, I'm gonna pass out. Oh my god, it's 12:30. I wasn't paying attention. Did I get a new skill at least, maybe? I don't think I did, actually. What if I lose all my copper, though? Oh, well. We've passed out. And while I did take a pretty big hit in energy for the day, I also realized that I was hoarding a ton of items that Gunther wanted. I genuinely just thought they were resources, and while I was on the way to the museum, I saw a new request from Pam for a daffodil. Yeah, Pam, thank you for being a lazy bum. And naturally, I mixed up the community center with the museum, so why not check out if I had anything new, and eventually getting to Gunther, who rewarded me with cauliflower seeds for my hard work. And since I had hardly any energy for the day, I decided to focus on exploring, foraging, and chatting up people when I found them, only to immediately forget about it and start fishing. And oh my god, guys, I didn't know I could have this adorable cute pink bobber. I guess you can have a flower, Elliot. I'm not a huge fan of this. What? These people in this town are such freaking haters. Have I lost Robin's axe? Girl, I fear I may have found it and lost it for you. Whoops. And I also remembered that I needed to stop in the Adventurers Guild, where I got a new weapon that I definitely can't wait to use, but I doubt it's able to be upgraded. I made my way back home to grab Robin's axe that I had forgotten I had. And then, for some reason, I was deforesting my farm after. I'm going to guess that looking through the menu made me forget or something, but by the time I remembered to grab the axe, it was already super late. So I decided to make some copper ingots instead, since I really wanted some better tools. And while I didn't really plan to be up in the mines again the next day, the request of the day was too good to pass up on. Can I make a chest to leave outside the mines? And while I was getting my gear together, I realized that my fish supply was really running out, making Robin's absurd house upgrade cost sound a lot less crazy. Speaking of Robin, she literally ran into me while I was making my way to the mines, so I finally got to return her prized lost axe that I kept forgetting about. Oh no, I needed my scythe, you guys. Unfortunately, it didn't seem to block my way much, but floor 13 was about to rock my world, and while I could have put my femur to the test here, for some reason I was using my hoe. Take that, evil carrots. And just as I felt I was kicking their butts, the room suddenly turned green and... Whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god! What is happening? What is this air? Help! Is this air hurting me? Oh god, more flies. More flies. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! Ah! Swing, better swing! What happened? What was that? That was so scary. At least I remembered to use my femur on the flies, but I then switched back to my hoe for some reason. I'm going to give myself the excuse of being too stressed out to think properly. Oh my god, grab your right weapon! Oh my god, no, don't cocoon. No, don't do that. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, I know where the flies are coming from now. Oh, I can use my club on this. Panic for no reason. It is what I do. And while it was still early, I decided that I was already struggling enough and running out of resources, and so it wasn't really worth it to push forward. The next morning, I got 500 gold from my dad, and Pam gave me some beer. And I made my way to the blacksmith's to have my tools upgraded, only to realize I had also forgotten my geodes and about shop hours, so I again had to spend some time wandering around like a moron until Clint was finally ready to get to work. And since upgrading my sword wasn't an option, I upgraded my pickaxe instead. It wasn't until after the fact that Clint decided to fill me in that he would be keeping my tools for a couple of days, by the way. No, I plan to go to the mine tomorrow, Clint. Give it back. I guess we're going fishing tomorrow. Oh, that's right, I can get a fiberglass fishing rod. Oh, I spent all my money? I just realized I spent it all on my copper axe. That's okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this. Oh, I really didn't plan that well. Upgrading my tool is biting me in the butt so hard right now. But despite my rapid fire of stupidity, I could at least work on fishing near the mines, since I knew that there was likely still fish I hadn't caught there yet. And I also got the achievement Mother Catch for catching 100 fish. I can only give Linus 2 gifts a week? This is so hateful. Even worse, I leveled up in fishing, which just made me more upset that I no longer had my pickaxe for tomorrow, but at least I got a ton of carrot seeds from the ticket machine and opted to deforest my home some more, since Robin really does want 1,000,000 resources to upgrade my house. Oh, you pass out from exhaustion. I forgot. I like how quickly I forget things because I leveled up and had no consequences for passing out. I also got to pick the perk for leveling up this time and went with getting more money for my fish. And since I couldn't make my way into the mines, I decided to just keep on fishing for the day. Oh, this is probably where the ruby goes. Okay, I'll try and put that there. I said this is going to be for mine stuff. This is just kind of turned into my lake fish box. Maybe that's a good idea, just to leave these around. At least all the extra fish can be used for food in the mines, and despite fishing being really hard in this game, I was really enjoying it on a rainy day. And I even got a single chest that had 2 artifacts and a lost book in it. Oh my gosh, I can donate to the community center from these? Oh my god, no way! And while I excitedly made my way back to my farm to check my other chests, I quickly realized it was just showing me what I could donate to the community center, or maybe I'm still wrong about that. I don't know. Even editor me still thinks it looks like I can donate from the chests. I guess I'll just have to check again in summer, and since I was rolling in fish, I finally decided to let some go, and if I ended up regretting that later, that sucks. I also finally had a singular cauliflower to harvest from my community center, only for Jody to send me a personal request in my mailbox for cauliflower. And like, yeah, I have more growing, but also what the hell, girl? At least I can make some progress on filling out the museum, and my pickaxe is ready to collect. Thanks a lot, Clint. Oh, I have green algae. Now, do I have it in the chest by the Adventurers Guild or on my farm is the real question. Oh, I needed that ruby too. I want to see if I can put it in that statue. Only for me to not be able to do anything with the statue, so there's still a mystery to me. Please don't destroy my tent. Yo, I will fuck up anybody who touches your tent, dude. And when I made my way to the general store, I got a cutscene where Morris came into the store offering everyone 50% off at Jojo Mart. I'm not gonna lie, I have been tempted by the cheaper prices at Jojo Mart. And Pierre decided to dump his money troubles on me for some reason, but Morris being a smug jerk did make it a lot more tempting for me to remain a loyal customer. Oh my god, Evelyn! Grandma, what's up? Would you like this? Oh, it smells awful. Sam didn't like my daffodil. Sam, it's a good daffodil, okay? Oh my gosh, imagine I'm not able to finish Jody's quest in time just because I can't find Jody. Oh, there's Jody. Worried for nothing. Oh, that's Leah. Crap. Are you Jody? Or Penny? Who the hell is Jody? Do you think Willie would like a salmon berry? No, nobody likes a salmon berry. I need to give up on the salmon berry. And while I basically ran all over the place searching for Jody, I really couldn't find her for the life of me. Thankfully, I don't believe her request was timed, but holy hell is it infuriating looking for the villagers sometimes. And I wasn't sure if there was enough time to plant certain seeds, so I made my way to the calendar in town to check when I noticed that it was Shane's birthday, and I still had that beer that Pam gave me a few days ago. And I had to clear the path to my house a little bit more because it seriously almost made me pass out the other day. You know what? Never mind. You don't deserve a gift. You're rude. And eventually I did find Jody. How are you going to request something from me and make me waste a whole day looking for you? Like, what a jerk. I wonder if I can afford that other fishing rod now. Yeah, he's not at work today. Slackers. And apparently, I can't actually get artifacts a second time, which like what the fuck, dude. And Gunther also wasn't interested in telling me about a key. I don't think I've ever seen him outside of the museum either, so I wonder if I need to complete some more of the collections for him to give me anything. And after deforesting my farm for quite a bit, I decided that Shane was worthy of a gift because he may be a turd, but I'm a sweetie pie. And if you're rude to me, Shane, I swear to Jesus. You're welcome. I knew you'd love it. And while I was wandering around to forage... Whoa! Okay, hey Shane. What's up? I didn't realize we became besties. Do you ever feel like no matter what you do, you're gonna fail? Like you're stuck in some miserable abyss and you're so deep you can't even see the light of day? No. I just feel like no matter how hard I try, I'm not strong enough to climb out of that hole. Well, it's probably because you work at Jojo Mart. I would get out of there while you can. Dang, you're making me an alcoholic. Oh, you gave me energy? -1 speed for 30 seconds. That's rough. And for people that have been flaming jerks to me since I got here, they sure don't waste an opportunity to trauma dump on me. Sorry you're depressed, Shane, but I'm just here for the spring onions. Oh well, my harvest was pretty sick the next morning, and since the season was just about over, I decided that growing parsnips was going to be my safest bet. Thank goodness for my limited time checking out Fields of Mystria. A carp frenzy has begun in the mountains. Wait, where are the mountains? Ah, fuck. I like how it's been almost a month of gameplay and I still haven't figured out that the stores have hours. And thankfully, since carp are stupid easy to catch, I had no problem getting all of the chests that popped up. And while they had no artifacts, they did have some much needed coal and copper, so a win is a win. And Sam had this request for a catfish, and while I had yet to find one, I couldn't pass up all the gold he was offering, and I guess his friendship or whatever is cool too. And oh my god, I cannot believe I got this chest. I literally had to keep going back to the fish so that I had more time to catch the chest, and I did it. I'm so good at this game. And of course, it was fucking bait that I don't even know how to use still. Anyways, I did try quite a handful of other places to see if I could catch the catfish, and I got nothing, which surprisingly was the first time since like week 1 that I had a strong desire to look something up instead of just trying my best. So I have to say, I am really just knocking my goal to play the game out of the park. It sounds dumb, but think of how often you look something up for a game as soon as you get stuck. I do it all the time. But yeah, by the end of the night, I kind of came to the idea that it was the wrong season for catfish and decided to make more ingots for some better tools someday. Which brings us to the last week of spring, where Alex said some weird nonsense about daffodil casserole, and now I'm not sure if I want to be digging around in Grandma's trash anymore. Though I did get cookies from her trash once. Oh, and I decided not to give up on that catfish just yet, because if I'm anything, it's stubborn. And I went to get a new rod from Willie for a 600 gold reward, but I still couldn't figure out how to use the bait with it, so big bummer. I guess I'm stubborn and also an idiot. At least I remembered that I was going to need some fancy parsnips for the community center, and was so big-brained that I laid down some fertilizer first. And while heading back from the store, I noticed a request from Emily just to say hi to everyone again. Which, like, of course that'll be easy, right? Because, I mean, I did find 18 people before making my way back to my farm to plant my parsnips. And I learned about the upcoming flower dance, and I have a feeling no one's gonna want to dance with me because I haven't talked to like anyone. I really did just spend most of my time ignoring the villagers since they all were kind of mean. Or maybe I'm a little sensitive, who knows. Anyways, since Elliot is the only villager I never see, I decided to be a stalker and stand outside of his shack. I really just hoped that he would walk out of it as soon as his door unlocked, and he totally let me down. Shane really likes me. Ew. Shane, I want to be so freaking clear right now. I do not like you like that. And after about a week of sitting in my pockets, I remembered to take my geodes to Clint, where I accidentally gifted him one and then cried inside as he was opening them and giving me items for the museum. But I also found Sam and Penny, so now there was only 4 more villagers that I was missing, and I literally walked into the museum to search for them and walked right back out without donating anything. It's amusing to watch myself back, having tunnel vision and being an absolute dork. And while I did find Haley at some point, I got distracted by a bubbly spot, and I guess I either gave up or forgot about finding anyone else at that point, because I kept fishing and had to haul ass back to my farm before I passed out. Dang, another day of bad luck. That is rough. Oh, I think my plant died. Alright, I don't really remember what I was doing last, because it's been a while since I've played. I've been on like so many family trips, weddings this month. It's been a long month, but I need to kind of figure out what we're doing and get back into the swing of things. And my break was so long that I was calling my man by the wrong name. Oh, another daffodil. Do you think Lewis would like a daffodil? Oh, Lewis, don't leave me. Wait, Lewis. That's a good find. I'm always happy when eating wild food. You're eating the daffodils? But like my heart was in the right place, so I'm sure he forgives me. You know, as I'm wrapping up the first month here, it really feels like what's the focus of this game is like gathering and just kind of doing whatever you want. Whereas I feel like in Fields of Mystria, it was really getting to know the townsfolk, and like this foraging and gathering and playing the game was just kind of like a side quest almost, if that makes sense. It's locked. Oh, they're all at the festival, aren't they? Be cool. Oh, he's so cute. Look at Harvey. Oh, the jello is moving. I don't like that. Ask Penny to be your dance partner. Oh, no thanks. But no, nobody wants to be my dance partner. Wait. Flowers, I can hardly see them. You know what, George? After what you did to Linus, don't complain to me. I don't care. I've been working on these flower arrangements for a week. Do you like them? I love them. And you're being mean to Evelyn? That is my grandma. How dare you? Nobody wants to be my dance partner because they all suck. Yay, look at everybody else. I could be in a cute little dress. She's got a flower crown too. I love that for her. That was fun. Time to go home. Cool. Can I actually go talk to Gunther? No, are you kidding me? It's so late at... what? Anyways, the next morning, I had a ton of parsnips to harvest, and of course, none of them were what I needed for the community center. But at least there was still a decent amount of them that weren't ready to harvest, and they were fertilized, so fingers crossed. And I did remember to turn in my stuff to Gunther, which got me a reward of melon seeds. So I feel like that's the game's way of saying that I did so good that I'm ahead, and I'm going to ignore anyone who says otherwise. And I swear I cannot resist these bubbly spots when I see them. Oh yeah, and I changed my bobber to the duck because the pink bobber was cuter than my pink pants, and I'm not proud to say it, but I got a little jealous. And while I did plan to finally get a coop for the farm, I'm too poor? That's good, because I can't afford anything here, girl. I'm so glad that I'm allowed to visit when I'm poor. Though in hindsight, it was a big stretch to think that I had enough resources in the first place. I am starting to kind of think a little bit about decorating the farm. Not that I can afford to, you know what I mean? But I'm starting to get like kind of like a thought process of what I want to do. And I really think I need to do something super like interesting, cute. And then I'm still gonna have my farm here in this bottom section. But like maybe let my farm go down a little bit so that I can have like a pathway. And I was starting to prep for the next season by making some chests to place in my favorite spots where I often run out of pocket space and have had to toss so many things. Dang, me and Willie just visioned together? What's up, dude? Oh, and we have magnificent facial hair together. Oh my gosh, we're just like two peas in a pod here. I think it's too late to talk to Clint, unfortunately. But what we can go ahead and do, I like how I made that chest so that I can leave my fish here and I'm walking off with them. Yeah, Clint's not in his shop anymore. Business has been slow lately. Well, maybe if you get back in there, I'd have some business for you. Oh, I wanted to go see if the bookseller was in town. And while there was no bookseller in sight, I was able to collect a lot of items along the way, so that's something I guess. And while trying to fill up my watering can, I accidentally made myself exhausted, so I'm glad that I planned to go into the mines on the last day, but after going to bed, I got a cutscene of a fairy who I think was blessing my farm. And I would love to know what she did for sure, but I also didn't know that there was no autosave or ability to save in the middle of the day, and I closed the game when my husband asked if I wanted to go fishing in real life. Oops. Anyways, when I loaded back in, I was just inside my house, though I think the fairy was real, but I don't know. And I did some prep for summer, cause my chests were already overflowing, and man, I cannot wait to expand my house and move some of these bad boys inside, or at least decorate the farm to make it look a little cuter, hopefully. And while I did decide to keep the majority of my items from spring in case I got a request for them, I did sell what I had in excess, and after I had gotten rid of my eel, Leah asked for one naturally. And while I saw her on my way back to the farm, finding her once I had the eel again was another story. I think trying to find specific villagers has easily become my least favorite part of this game so far. Oh my gosh, farm girl, Haley is ignoring you. Actually, I might be so bold as to say, the villagers are literally the worst part of this game. Except for Linus, of course. And also when I found Leah, I was so close to accidentally eating the eel she wanted. I'm trying not to use up my energy for the day because I've had a bad habit of doing that and then I can't do anything the next day. And then I proceeded to chop down a tree for some reason, and then I went fishing too. So now I'm wondering if I figured out that my energy bar doesn't fully refill every morning unless I level up in a skill, which in my defense, I was leveling up more often than not most days, so I can see how I may have missed that. And now there's mystery boxes that I'll be able to find, so I guess when you're playing this, the energy doesn't fully restore. So yeah, I was right that I didn't figure it out yet, so I decided to mostly just forage for the day, turn in items, and talk to villagers to pass the time. And all of my planning paid off, because Leah had a request for a flounder that I had definitely saved for just this moment, and I got to make my way into the mines with full energy. Alright, I've got my weapon, I'm ready. No, die. I need you guys to die yesterday. Not these ones. They're so annoying when they hatch. No, this one's gonna hatch. Oh, I gave it my best go. At least there's only one. It's a lot easier when there's only one to deal with. Oh my goodness. And then I missed the obvious worms over here. And well, while the flies were kicking my butt, I was getting better at searching the floors for worms and obliterating them before they got the chance to be a pain in my ass. Actually, I feel like I was doing pretty good in combat in general because by the time I got to the 20th floor, I still had all of my food items, which also meant my pockets were full. And while I had finally found some water in the mines, again my pockets were full, so no fishing for me. And that full inventory was still kicking my butt because I finally found a mystery box, so rip my mixed seeds as well. There better be something sick inside of this box. Anyways, that was my first time playing Stardew Valley in a nutshell, and I'm actually really proud of myself for accomplishing my goal of not looking up anything and just playing the game. And while there were so many times I got annoyed and wanted to restart, I just kept going, and I genuinely enjoyed the game more for it. Anywho's, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm sure a lot of people are veterans in this game, as it's been insanely popular for so long, and I hope you enjoyed watching a new player fumble about like an idiot. And the obligatory, if you did like the video, there's some things you can do to help support it, like liking, commenting, and subscribing, which you don't have to do, but I really appreciate those of you who take the time to do so. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I can't wait to catch you in the next one.